Hello everybody and welcome back to the Traxion channel for what is another episode of my ongoing series, the Multiplayer Racing Review. It's the first one in quite a while, I'll admit, but there's a very good reason why we're returning to this series today, and that is because rFactor 2 has just launched a brand new online competition system. The system is called RaceControl. It's currently in beta, but basically what it does is it creates a proper online ranked system for people to jump on rFactor 2, jump into daily races, special events, all sorts of stuff which I will get into in this video, and basically just an easy route to racing on rFactor 2, which is exactly what people have been calling out for years. So in this video, I am going to be testing out the beta. I'll be showing you how it works, all the different features that I can find, and doing a couple of races to see how it actually works in practice as well. So without further ado, let's jump in. Actually, there is one further ado, and that is the usual disclaimer when we play rFactor 2 on this channel. Both Traxion and Studio 397, who make rFactor 2, are owned by Motorsport Games, but we as Traxion are fully editorially independent, so we can say whatever we like about this, and these thoughts and opinions are entirely my own. So with that being said, let's jump in. So here we are on the rFactor 2 main menu. But before you get to this point, you do need to activate the beta for the release candidate. So now if you don't know how to do that, go to rFactor 2 on Steam on your drop-down list of installed games, right-click on rFactor 2, click Properties, and then there should be a Betas tab. Now if you go in there, there's a drop-down menu, click Release Candidate, and click OK, and then you will be able to download the release candidate version of rFactor 2 as this RaceControl online system is currently in beta. So you've done that, you've launched the game, and here we are. You can see a slightly different menu, and we have a big purple button saying online. Now there was of course a competition system of sorts beforehand, but this is a completely reworked thing, so this is very exciting indeed. If you want to read about it, you can click on the news tab here and just read through what's being said, but if we click online, when you do this for the first time, you will be introduced with a welcome message and a sign up option. So you can sign up, put in your name, your email, marketing preferences, all that kind of stuff. Very, very quick and straightforward. You then head to your emails, accept the link, and you're pretty much good to go. So there's four main sections to think about here. We have daily races, which is going to be the main thing that we're going to come on to later and try out. And you also have a quick join to join the next event that's on. You have a special events page, a career ladder, which we know nothing about and says coming soon, so it'll be intriguing to hear more about that later. And then we have a servers option. I'm going to quickly cover the servers option first. Now, once you click on the servers button, there's two tabs. There's the official servers and community servers. Now, this isn't fully working yet. The official servers is just a list of the race servers to do with the new RaceControl system. However, down the bottom right, you might notice something a bit different. There's a host a server option. Now this is something rFactor 2 has been missing for a long time, the ability to host your own server, create your own racing from within the game. You don't need some sort of degree in servers to be able to set up a race. So that's a really good option. Once you click that, of course, and host a server, it will then show up in the traditional rFactor 2 servers list, I should say, which comes under the Community Servers tab. This is going to be very recognizable to any rFactor 2 players. It's the same as it was before. So yeah, all of this needs a little bit of work still, but that is something that comes with this new update. Now, a key feature with RaceControl is the fact that you have a driver rank and a safety rank, kind of like you have in Race Room or iRacing, as many of you know, a popular system. And what that does is allows you to progress through the ranks and try and compete in high level series. Eventually, I believe there's going to be some sort of connection between your driver and safety ranking and the official esports events that you can take part in, so you can really work your way up and be eligible for special events, which is very, very cool indeed. Now, I'm not going to click on the profile button at the top right yet, because I've actually done one race already. I don't want to spoil the results, so I'll cover that after I show you highlights of the very first race. But basically in there you'll be able to see your driver ranking and safety rating. Let's take a look then at the daily races tab. Now, I'll give you a quick summary of how this works. For the beginner series, you can race with any driver rank or any safety rank, so as soon as you launch the game, you're always going to be eligible for the beginner series. There is a beginner race once every hour, and there are 3 combinations of car and tracks that cycle. So, for example, in week 1, there's the BMW M2 at Lime Rock, as you can see. There's also a race with a single-seater, and then there's a radical race at NOLA, which I've already done one of, and they basically rotate. So every hour, it's a different combination, and then it goes back to the start every 3 hours. Those will be the combinations for the week, and then on, I believe, a Tuesday at the moment, all 3 of those combinations will be replaced with 3 new combinations for the next week. So that's a nice balance, I believe. What that means is you will get familiar with a particular car and track combo, but then it'll keep things fresh, changing it every week, so no complaints about that at all. Intermediate, on the other hand, there are races every 2 2 hours. There are 2 different car and track combinations on a cycle in the same way as the Beginner Cup. However, I cannot race in this, and you will not be able to race in this until you get up to a silver safety rank, so it's something to work towards, and it's not necessarily going to be free content. Same thing with Advanced. At the moment, there's actually only one combination, and it's once every 3 hours. You need a gold safety ranking for that. I'm not sure if there are anyone in existence, maybe there are, who already have a gold safety rank after only one weekend. All of this is explained well in the daily race schedule, so you can see here the 3 different beginner events, the car and track combinations, the times of the races in your local time as well, so it should match up with whatever the time is where you are. There you can see the 2 intermediate combinations. I'm very jealous I'm not yet intermediate because I want Brands Hatch in the Porsche Cup car. And of course, same thing for advanced. And you can see the races in beginner are on the hour, intermediate is at 1/4 every hour, and then the advanced is 1/4 every hour. So basically, if you have a gold safety ranking, there are lots of races you can do throughout the day, and it's always cycling through the different content. So yeah, I really like it. To quickly show you what special events is all about, we're going to click on here. Now, special events, at the moment we have a Battle of Brands on Saturday and a Daytona race on Sunday. These are rare races. There's only going to be 1 or 2 races a week, although that is all subject to change, as is everything else, this being a beta. But basically, these events are worth more in terms of your driver ranking and your safety ranking. So if you really want to get a big gain, take part in one of these events when they're on, which is very rarely, and you will make big gains, and it should be good fun. Hopefully it will attract big numbers, and there'll be lots of splits. I believe with these special events as well, the car will stay the same for a whole month, and it will just rotate the tracks. So each week you'll get a different circuit to race on, and then after the month is up, all of the cars will switch as well. So what it means is if you, for example, buy the touring car pack, and the touring cars are the cars in use for one of the special events, it should run on all the different tracks that will be included in that pack as well, to try and make it a bit easier for people to actually buy the correct content and be able to use all of it. So there's a lot of thought gone into this. I've done a lot of talking, so I'm actually going to show you highlights of my first ever RaceControl race, and then I'll show you how the My Profile page works and everything. So hopefully you've got an idea of what this is all about. Let's see how it actually works in practice. Now, as I'm jumping straight into this race and this session, I don't actually know if invulnerability is on for everyone or off for everyone. There's a few things I'm not sure about, so we're just going to have to take it easy to avoid doing things like that. Judging by the fact that his wheel came off and his rear wing, I'm going to guess invulnerability is not on. Thank you for testing that for me. So yeah, just going to have to learn as much as possible in a very short space of time. I don't think I'll be up with the front guys in this race by any stretch, but hopefully I can have a good battle somewhere in the midfield. Okay, that's quali over. Currently on the front row. Don't know how close everyone is behind, but second place in quali is always a good position if you want to have a good race. I'll take that, to be honest. So with quali out the way, we head straight into the race. It's a 16-minute race, so and it's just over a minute per lap. So I'm actually just going to put in about 22 litres of fuel. We're using about a litre a minute, something like that. So that should be nice and safe. Yeah, not much more to say. You wait for the time to run down, you hit drive, and then we get into our race. Let's hope the first ever race on RaceControl is a good one. Right, here we go. No starting lights I can see. Slot straight into P2 off the line. Not going to try anything crazy into T1, just want to get around safely. Let's just stick with the leader, try and protect our tyres, and use the slipstream. Okay, lap 1, perfectly clean, exactly what we wanted, and we've got a race in our hands for the win. So, yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I'm actually beginning to drop back a little bit. This is not good. Need to find a bit of pace. Just make sure I can stick in that slipstream, because if I lose it, then the pressure's really on. I need to up my pace. Still learning a lot. Oh, leader's made a mistake. That's what we needed. And that's us now in P1, but judging by the pace, oh, it's going to be tough to hold it. But let's actually just engage now in a proper race and see what happens. I'm going to try using track limits a bit more. Seems to be allowed in that last corner. I'm not going to risk it without doing any practice in terms of how much I can push it, but we're definitely going to try and use a little bit more. First of all, let's see if I can break the slipstream. Okay, looks like on the first lap in front I have upped the gap a little bit. Still 11.5 minutes to go. It's going to be a concentration race, unfortunately, without much battling, but I say that, who knows, let's wait and see. Yellow flag in front, so we're catching up to some back markers who are struggling. That should make things a little more interesting. At the moment, the gaps, I'm just increasing it ever so slightly, 10th or 2 a lap. But still all to play for if I start making mistakes, like that last corner, for example, was pretty rubbish. my tyres are not going to like it either. I have to play it cautiously here just to make sure. Oh, got out of the way beautifully. Thank you very much, backmarker. Made it very easy. So 4.5 minutes to go now. Honestly, nothing to report. I've just been edging away. The gap is now 3 seconds. No other back markers, and yeah, we just need to kind of keep on the black stuff and get to the finish line. Now, obviously, this is my very first experience of race control, and so far I've got no issues whatsoever to report. I mean, when we were battling and changing positions very briefly, there was no issues with latency or movement or anything like that. Everything just seemed perfect. Obviously, rFactor 2's always got great physics, and online racing is one of the best things about rFactor 2. It's just making it more accessible, and so far this is it. This just works. I had absolutely zero issues getting into this race. I am aware there were some issues over the weekend when it first launched, simply because of the number of people playing. I think there was upwards of 10 splits, and Studio 397 weren't expecting that many people to be playing it, so didn't have the server capacity for it, but I believe they are in the process of changing that and upgrading it to prevent that issue, and I guess that's what an open beta is all about, finding these kind of issues. But yeah, it's a good start from my perspective. It's just exactly what RF2 has been crying out for. Obviously this is one race though. Let's give it more of a chance to go better or go wrong. Looks like they're having a great race at the back here. Looks like a fun battle throughout the entire field. Only one straggler that we've already passed. But that's going to be it. Race 1. Victory 1. No incidents or anything like that. Can't complain. Obviously, I don't believe we were in the top split. Simply because this is the first ever race, so the ranking might be lower than those who've done well so far in the first few days, but you can only race what is in front of you. Okay, so here we are, P1. We've got the best lap, the gap, and then you can see your ranking changes. We got fully clean laps in quali and the race, and yeah, that's the first race over. You can quit out the server as soon as you cross the checkered flag. You can click results, and there you can view a full rundown of people's changes. No specific numbers in there, just a general ranking, but that's good. So now we can take a look at the profile page. So I'm going to click up here on my name, and you can see the driver rank and safety rank. Now, for both of these, you have a system that comprises of bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. I'm currently bronze. Everyone starts at bronze. For your driver ranking, you start at bronze 3, and for your safety rating, you start at bronze, which is the minimum. Now, back on the race results page, you can see I've got 2 green arrows beside my driver rank and 1 beside my safety rank. I had no incidents. I won the race, so that's going to go up by quite a lot. That's fantastic. And basically, the way this progression works is that for each category, so your bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, you will have bronze 0 essentially, which is just bronze. Then you'll have bronze 1, bronze 2, bronze 3, and then you will upgrade to silver. So within each overall rank, you have steps that you can work your way through, so it can show you at least how close you are to getting to silver or being demoted, for example, to bronze, and that will affect what races you can take part in. We also have your driver info at the top left, which you would have sorted at the beginning. And then on the right, we have a stats page. So as you can see, 1 race, 1 win, 1 top 5, etc, etc. Nice and clear. Here you've just kind of got a summary of everything. So you've got your overall stats, your daily stats for different types of races. That's actually quite an interesting one. So you can see how many beginner, intermediate, and advanced races you've done. And then you have a career section, which we don't know about yet. Okay then, I'm going to do a second race before we end this video, so you'll see the highlights of that as well. The next one is the BMW M2 Cup at Lime Rock, a track and car I absolutely adore. 48 minutes till the event starts, so we can register straight away. We'll click here. Just got to install the content first. And on this page, we can see some more information about the specific race. So you can see the rank impact of the event. You can see the average event duration. You've got 7 minutes practice, 7 minutes quali, and 60-minute race, same as the Radical race, and a fastest official laps page as well. I like that as well because you can kind of see what pace the top guys are doing. You can view a leaderboard and see all the different lap times, so that's kind of like a leaderboard challenge within itself. You can also view the participants who've already signed up for it, so we've got 7 sign-ups. We've still got a long way to go, of course, till the race, so that'll get bigger. And then event settings, how many cars are in each split, your fixed setups are not fixed. All of the information you're going to need about the actual race is all in here. So everything is clear, everything is nice. Something that RF2 has been missing for such a long time is that clarity and ease of understanding what's going on. So far, I can't complain. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. We're going to hit register. That's it. And then within that, we have a practice server that we can join, assuming everything works okay at the moment. It's also worth mentioning, when you're in the practice server, you will have to know to leave the server in order to join the official practice, quali, and race server, if that makes any sense. So this is like a general practice server that everyone can jump in for, I believe, half an hour before the event, which is maybe why it's not loading yet. But then you have to leave that to join the official race-specific practice server. If you have your message center option turned on, which I believe if you go to options, then go to graphics and select the message center option here, change that from off to default if it happened to be off anyway, and then you should be good. What that does is shows you server messages. So for example, when the official server is about to start, you'll get a message on your screen telling you that it is about to start, so you should leave the pre-race test session and join the official session. That sounds like a lot of information. Hopefully it makes sense. But yeah, let's see how we get on in this final race. So just before we jump into this last race, a couple of small things that I have spotted that could do with being a bit better. First of all, the fact that there was no starting lights at that NOLA race. It was just the klaxon sound, which is fine if you've got all those sounds on, but it would be really nice to have some sort of visual aid to show that the race was starting. I also had a little bit of a strange one with the practice server for this session. Now it's saying I can join practice, but basically it didn't seem to be working for the first little while, so I actually did 1 or 2 laps offline on single player mode, and then came back to this. And then I found when I rejoined the multiplayer mode, the session I was registered for wasn't appearing unless I clicked the button on the top right, which I will show you. So this button here, if you're basically wondering where your race session's gone and it's showing you a different server, then just click the top right button and it should come back up. So just small niggly things. So much like the last race at NOLA, we're going in with only 1 or 2 laps practice, so it's going to be very much a quick learning process. I do know this track, however, which should help me, and I love the car. First lap in practice done, and it looks like we've got Bono House in our split as well, so talk about competition. Okay, last lap of quali. I'm going to cross the line. I don't know where it's going to put us. Top 4, but I don't know where in the top 4. P3. So we're a good 3 or 4 tenths off the leaders, but I mean, looking at the times, it's going to be a great race between pretty much the top 6 or 7. Even in these early days, that top split, I mean, the top 12, only 1.2 seconds in it. That's brilliant. Properly competitive. So in a perfect world, I'll be able to stick on the back of Reyes and Bono first and second, but I don't think I'm going to have their pace for this first race without any of the practice laps. I doubt Bono's done much practice either, to be fair, but he's very, very talented. So it's going to be tough, but the guys behind me are also very similar pace, so I'm going to set my target for this race to be a podium. If I can get a podium, I'll be absolutely over the moon. Once again, I can't see any start lights. Okay start, but just going to leave space for Bono on the inside. See if we can get him around the outside. No. He's too smart for that, so we'll slot in behind, and let's just try and follow these front 2. By the way, if you're wondering how to turn on those driver names above the cars, you hit tab on your keyboard, and that'll turn it on or off. Okay, lap 1 complete, and this is the perfect situation. Just stick in the slipstream, learn from the guys in front, and see what happens. It's my first track limits warning. First safety rank, negative impact. And I just hit the curb too hard, so I've lost just a couple of tenths to the guys in front. That might be a problem. Bono's on the dirt, I'm on the dirt following him. Oh, this car's so fun to haul around Lime Rock. Sadly, none of these early lap times have registered because of that one off track at the end of the lap. It invalidates your current lap and your next lap. So for your fastest lap thing, it's really going to hurt you if you do that on lap 1 around here. Now the tyres have gone off, you won't be able to set a good lap time. The thing is, everyone's too closely matched on pace. Bono's not any quicker than Miguel, I'm slightly slower than both, so just able to hang on, but not by much more, so there's not really any overtaking going on. Maybe P4 is faster than me, it's hard to tell, but I mean, I'm able to keep the gap at the moment, so it's just status quo, but it's such an intense race at the same time. I'm having a lot of fun just concentrating and trying to keep the rhythm up, and you never know what's going to happen. Maybe Bono will go for a late move, and I could pick up the pieces. Once again, so far so good for RaceControl. This is a brilliant online race. The car's movements are perfect. Obviously the few issues before the race and with the practice server and stuff like that, hopefully that's stuff that can be worked through before the full release, because this is just beta, of course. But I mean, I'm very, very happy so far. I'm really, really enjoying these races, and it's competitive. Oh, P4's just hit the Armco behind me. That should help us a little. But he'll be absolutely determined now to catch back up, and to be fair, he's not lost much time at all. Still, actually the gap's still smaller between P3 and P4 than it is to me and Bono. Oh, it's all closing back in. Miguel's got damage on the rear, must have been tapped at some point. Here we go. Side by side. I'm going to lose out here though. Don't think you can go around the outside here, and all that's done is actually made it a pack of 4 for the lead, which is good for the racing. I've just got to stay focused now. Almost lost the back end, and I had to really lift out of that just to avoid any contact, so that's really cost me, but all my fault to be honest. Just went in a bit deep trying to defend. So Alex is through now, sorry, Alexis. And I think with 90 or so participants, this is the kind of racing you're going to get across multiple different splits, because it's going to be this close around a track like this. That's it, timing's up. Last couple of corners. I think it's going to be P4, guys. Try and focus on our exit. Yeah, it's not good enough. Oh, they're side by side for the lead though. Is Bono going to run wide? Oh, look at this. What a brilliant race. We're going to end up losing out from that first 4, but what a great race. Only myself to blame. But lots and lots of fun. And Miguel did hang on in front for the win. There we go. We gain, once again, driver ranking and safety ranking. It's got an expected finishing and qualifying position as well, based on your ranking, which is very good. Obviously, it's not going to be accurate right now because I'm doing my first few races, but once you've done 10 or 20 or 30, that will actually become a bit more accurate. And there we go. You can see Miguel and Alexis are already silver. Bono will be platinum very soon, I'm sure. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the introduction to RaceControl. I am certainly enjoying driving on it. This is a massive, massive moment for rFactor 2. I think it's a game changer. Yes, we're 10 years past release, but this might give it another kick and push it all forward, which is great to see. And obviously the racing itself is brilliant. Once you get past the couple of rFactor 2-y things, obviously this system itself seems pretty clean already. There's a few things that they could definitely improve on, but it's already in a great state to race, and if you can get over the other bits, then why not give it a try? So I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Do let me know down in the comments whether you've been trying RaceControl, whether you plan on trying it soon. I'd love to see some of your names on that participants list. Make sure you subscribe to the Traxion channel to catch other racing game videos that we make, and of course, hit the like button if you've enjoyed this one. That's going to be it from me today, so until I see you next time, thanks very much for watching, keep it pinned, and have a great day.